May 22nd, 1966. It was close to 11 p.m. and a 14-year-old black girl named Johnnie Mae Hicks would be with her boyfriend Eugene Willis at his apartment in Creighton Court, located at 2019 North 29th Street. Now on this night, Johnnie and Eugene were actively having a fight, right there in the moment, while Thomas had been watching the entire conflict play out just a block away. Thomas then approaches the couple, informing Johnnie that he was a detective, and he would ask, "Is this man bothering you?" And she responded in agreement that Eugene was, saying she was about to call the police, but Thomas warned her that his own mother had already done so. Now, whether or not Johnnie caught on to this clear contradiction is never confirmed, but it would seem that Eugene did, because at that moment, Eugene went inside the apartment to get a friend of his named Purcell, at which time Thomas had grabbed her hand and started running with her into an open field. And by the time they got there, Eugene and Purcell were coming out of the front door, trailing behind. Both would jump a fence nearby to look for Johnnie, and they were met with 3 gunshots from Thomas's .22. Thomas had ran away from the field, so it was thought that the worst was over. The strange, bad man with the gun was gone, but it was far from over. After all of that, Eugene will walk Johnnie home, but yet he leaves her at the door by herself. A similar decision made by Cynthia's boyfriend Oscar when he would decide to not accompany her on the 10-block stretch home from the store, which made her an easy target for a predator like Thomas. And I think we can all agree that after such an extreme episode, it was almost heartless to just up and leave your companion alone at night. Maybe it was because of their fight. Eugene may have felt a certain way about Johnnie accusing him of bothering her, but there's no way of knowing what type of relationship they actually had, especially for her to be contemplating accepting help from a total stranger. So as Johnnie stood at her front door, she reconsidered calling the police, now making way to the phone booth at the end of her street. On the way there, she would see Thomas leaning on side a house in the neighborhood known as the Ice Cream House, taking the chance to walk aside her to the phone booth. But then he warned her for a second time, saying, "If you make the call, there's gonna be a lot of trouble." The two then went back to Johnnie's home, and after a brief moment, Thomas would then suggest she go back to the phone booth, telling her that she should call the police, just in case her boyfriend Eugene came back around starting another disturbance. At this point, let's imagine that Johnnie is just truly afraid for her life, figuring that doing whatever he asks would spare her from whatever horror was to come.